Righty boys, welcome back. So, arm day today. Happy days. A relatively easy day. It's also a very warm day, which is good and bad. It's good because you don't need to spend a lot of time warming up. I think for me, as long as you are hydrated, not dehydrated, as long as you're hydrated, the chances of injury are also kind of low because your connective tissues, tendons and whatnot, they generally tend to be warmed, so you don't need to spend a lot of time, warming up or do anything like that. But yeah, there's still a couple of dangers that are downsides. Obviously, the obvious one is dehydration. If you are dehydrated, that's obviously not very good, and it is also going to affect your performance. So you are going to lift less than what you actually can. Keep that in mind. But yeah, warm day. It is what it is. We know how to get around it. I'm only looking at the positives and leaving the negatives behind, as always. Obviously taking care of the negatives so they don't actually become a problem, but for the most part, yeah, only positives. So we are going to smash this out. Instead of starting with the laying down bicep curls and then going into to the dumbbell skull crushers, I am actually going to start with a superset this time around, just to change it up a little bit. So we have a superset here, preacher curls, and we're going to set here, and then we're going to superset that with tricep push downs with a straight bar on the cables over there. So I'm going to start the set now. First set, I have 25 kilos on the actual bar plus the bar, around 32 kilos, give or take. And we're going to wrap that one out, see how many we can actually do, and then move straight. I say straight, it's probably going to be like a 30-40 second break in between so I can catch my breath and everything. Catch my breath. You know what I mean? Just like take a couple of deep breaths and go to the second set. This is going to be triceps. Let's start. Oh, that was 13. Oh. And the triceps. Oh. Right. So, not really a surprise, but that was 13 reps versus 11, which is what I usually do, and that was 14 reps compared to 12, which is what I usually do. I say it's not a surprise because obviously I'm starting with these exercises compared to, usually I usually do two exercises over there, 3 sets each, obviously going very hard. And then I'm coming here, so obviously my muscles have been put through, the test. So now obviously it's a little bit different because I'm coming fresh into these sets. So the extra 2 reps doesn't mean that I got that much stronger, in a span of a week. It just means that I'm fresh now compared to what usually happens in this superset. But yeah, good. It's all good though. Like 13 reps, 14 reps. I did 2 reps per exercise, 4 reps total. when you combine the two. Pretty good stuff. So we'll have two more sets, two more supersets, I should say, exactly like that, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna do what we usually start with. Righty, second set. Oh, let's finish with the superset and then talk about a couple of things. Oh, righty. We only have one superset left here before we actually move to the other two exercises. I just wanted to say, when it comes to arms, there's small muscles comparingly, right? But the exercises that you do, so for me, the preacher curl is a very, very, very good exercise for biceps. It has worked fantastically for many, many years, and it's still working for me. I think the reason is it's very simple. It's isolation. When you're here, it's very hard to use any other muscle and even momentum. I mean, you can use reflexes, obviously, like dropping it and then instantly going up, but there is no momentum really. Like, you can't start rocking your body back and forth like you can with dumbbells, right? You can't do any of that kind of crap, which is very, very good, because obviously that keeps the tension on the muscle, on the targeted muscle specifically. But I will say exercises like that come at, I'm not going to say they come with a cost necessarily or at a cost, but I am going to say that the drawback is you can't overdo it with weight. Now, you may be asking, why is that necessarily a drawback? Well, some of us like to lift heavy, it's just one of these things that I found men do quite often. Unnecessarily heavy is what I'm talking about here, because I'm pretty sure that that's heavy for some people, but not for some others. It depends, right? But yeah, when it comes to the preacher curl, and generally speaking, with exercises that are very, very good at isolating muscle groups specifically, adding a lot of weight, it's just not a good idea. Through and through. But yeah, the other thing as well that I wanted to talk about, go all the way down. The amount of people that I've seen doing preacher curl and they stop here, I'm like, genuinely, the distance you're covering from here to here, and then obviously when you bring it back up, is probably just as hypertrophic as moving it from here to here. Although this is more of a, you cover more of a distance, that bottom end where you really stress the muscle is just the best, probably the best thing you can do for your muscles, biceps on this specific occasion. But yeah, look, one more superset. Gotta get that done and then just do the tricep bit, and then we can move to the other exercises. Right. Let's finish this off with some triceps. Oh, that wasn't moving anymore. Right. We're gonna relocate. Lying down, bicep curls. Again, fantastic exercise for growth. Fantastic. I'll talk about it in a sec, why it is fantastic. So you guys can give you something at the very least, but I've been doing it for a while. And yeah, I'll share my thoughts in a second. But first of all, I'll show you what it looks like and do a set. Oh, oh. The reason that I like this exercise is because the very first time, I'm not going to talk science yet, but the very first few times that I actually did this exercise, and up until now, but obviously a bit less now because my body's getting used to it. The first time that I did it, and I only did 3 sets, obviously with sufficient weight and very, very close to failure, if not to muscular failure. I went home, and it must have been 2 or 3 days after that I could still feel the peak of my bicep aching. Not in a bad way, but in a way that, it's obviously been working. And I have never, maybe in the beginning, but I don't remember, but I don't believe I have ever felt that kind of soreness, let's call it, at the peak of the bicep after any arm day and any exercise that I've done for the biceps in the last 3 to 4 years. It was unbelievable, and I could not believe what I was feeling, because usually you want to do biceps, it's like this bit here was what was in pain, so all this, right? But with this one, it was the peak of the bicep. That was unbelievable. I was like, I didn't know that that was a feeling that I could feel on my arms. And obviously, I really do believe that my arms ever since have actually gotten bigger and stronger. And now, going to the science of it, the reason that they have is because when you lie down and the dumbbell is going all the way back until, you can't, like, you can't stretch your bicep any longer because obviously your elbow becomes kind of like limits the range of motion there. All the resistance is at that stretched position. Whereas if you just do dumbbells, so this is the stretch position, dumbbell curls, this is the stretch position of the bicep, but there isn't really much resistance when it comes to the bicep. There is some, but like most of the resistance on bicep curls is here or here, probably here, to be honest. Yeah, like, well, I say here, but it really is like down there, because this is kind of like the most stretched you can get your bicep without, letting go of that kind of like resistance of all the weights of the resistance. So when you lie down, all the resistance is really at the extended position. And as you go up, you don't even really need to go all the way up. You can just go like there. It just makes such a huge difference. And kudos to the guys who found out that exercise. It was the guys from RP. So again, I give credit where credit is due, but this is an amazing exercise. I will be doing that exercise for a very long time because it feels unfucking believable even after days. I could not believe that I could feel my bicep after 2 days of doing an arm day. I could still feel my bicep being sore 2 days after. That almost never happened. Even in the beginning, even as a beginner, I don't think that my biceps ever felt like that for 2 days. That was a bit extreme. I was kind of like being, what's that about? Obviously, I know that kind of feeling is a good feeling, and it wasn't that I was in pain or I couldn't use my biceps or anything like that, obviously, or my arms, but it was just that I could still feel the peak right there. I could still feel it being sore from the workout. Very good stuff. So yeah, and with that being said, we're going to do the second set because I talked for quite a while. Uh, 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 okay. Oh, good stuff. One more set, and then we're going to move into the last exercise. Oh. Right, so let's do the first set of dumbbell scout classes, and then I'll uh, I'll talk a little bit about them as well. Push, push. Uh, uh, oh, all right. Right. Let's do the second one. Um, oh, ooh, right. One more. Right. Last one. So we're going to add another layer on today. So we will really nice reset. And this one, right, so done today. I said I was going to talk about dumbbell spellcasters, but honestly, there isn't really that much to say, other than the fact that any exercise for the triceps anyway, any exercise that goes up and behind your head is probably some of the best that you can do, just because of the sort of position you can put your triceps to, kind of like it hyperextends like at all times. And it's very, very effective. And the reason I do dumbbells compared to straight bars or easy bars is because I'm trying to very consciously avoid muscle imbalances. So when you do a straight bar, because obviously you have both arms on the bar, eventually your dominant arm is going to take over towards the end of the set when your left one, well, in my case, my left one, your your non-dominant arm sort of gives up and raises its failure point. Your strong one is just going to take over. So that's why I choose dumbbells in these kind of exercises to just avoid that muscular imbalance. That way I make sure that I do the exact amount of reps. There is no support going in my non-dominant arm, dominant arm. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There isn't really much else to think about it. Arm day is done. It's a very quick arm day. Of course, you train hard. Of course, you go to failure, especially with arms. So I think you should, to be honest, small muscle groups. So yeah, you can go to failure fairly easily and then recover from that, but no time really. So yeah, I'm gonna see you tomorrow with. So tomorrow, actually, I don't know what I am gonna do. I'm probably gonna do deadlifts. Yes, deadlifts. So I think it's going to be more back dominant tomorrow. Although I might do a little bit of chest. Start with deadlifts and do a little bit of chest. There isn't a good last 5 did bench. I did a bench PR, 140 kilos, 3 plates, 305, or whatever. It felt very good. It felt very, very, very stable, considering how I got to doing the 140 in the day, which is I did a lot of volume before I actually did the PR. I just want to see what I am with deadlifts as well, but why not? I might have to bring a hard belt or something. We'll see. I have stuff on my list, so that should be alright. But yeah, we'll when Friday comes, which is tomorrow, so when tomorrow comes, we'll find out what we have to do. But yeah, that's it for today. Arms are done. Very good bump. Yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.